Hi guys, thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. My name is Catherine and I tell true stories. And thanks to the new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed and when you're watching my videos, feel free to click that subscribe button so that you can get my videos as soon as I upload. One time I had gone to see my grandmother and we went for an evening stroll at the ocean. I saw one lone lady standing in the shallows of the ocean, doing nothing, just standing there. It's very strange if it's an old lady just standing, doing nothing in the ocean. So I pointed to my grandmother, look at that lady. What is she doing alone in the ocean? There was no one else around. My grandmother looked and she said, no, there is nobody there. I said, yes, and I pointed, there she is, look. And when I pointed at the lady, look, the old lady waved at me. The lady standing in the shallows of the ocean waved at me. Then my grandmother said, I still don't see anyone. Hold my hand. She told me that. So I held her hand, and the moment I held her hand, she looked to the direction that I was pointing and she said, yes, I see the old lady. Do not do anything with the old lady. Do not look at her. And she was walking very fast. She told me the old lady died years ago and I should not communicate with her. I should not communicate with the dead. Well, that's actually not my story. That is the story of Montplanchet, a French guy. My story today is about this famous celebrity in Kenya called Brian Chira, the late Brian Chira. Well, I can't say I knew Brian Chira even when he was a celebrity. Celebrities are not known by everyone, no. But this was a TikToker celebrity, so I hear after he had died is when I heard about him. So Brian Chira's death has caused a lot of, has created a lot of detectives in Kenya, and everybody is trying to make money out of some story about him. Even up to Europe. As I say, let the dead rest in peace. One female, what do you call this? Medium. These are the people who communicate with the dead. They're called mediums. They can connect with the dead and talk with them. I don't know how that is possible, but I hear it's possible. With the use of Ouija boards and crystal balls, I don't know how they work, but that's all demonic anyway. So this woman went ahead and contacted the spirit of Chira, Brian Chira, and you will hear actually the voice of Brian, the late celebrity, with some demonic sounds from behind also like, and then you will hear like Brian Chira trying to speak also from very far, his small voice, yes, I can hear you. And then the woman will tell her, you're excellent, you're excellent. Well, I don't have that video at the moment. I don't want to upload it. But I'm sure by now so many Kenyans have seen it. Do not communicate with the dead. So I don't know whether this lady is really trying to also create money out of it, or it's the real Brian Chira she was talking to, or she was talking to some sort of demon. So what Brian Chira was saying in this story was that he was killed by his friends out of jealousy. My friends, it was in broken words. My friends, who caused your death? Then you will hear friends, jealousy. So we can connect that Brian was trying to say that he was killed out of jealousy by his friends. But Kenyans have become detectives and everybody is coming up with a story on how Brian Chira must have died. Well, we don't know. He could have just been crushed by a tanker, as some say. He could have been blown by a bullet, as some say, blown by a bullet and pushed by a tanker, as some say. But we now even have pastors who are trying to associate his death with something, what do you call it? Evil, to make money by out of it, to attract people to their churches by even prophesying things that are not happening. Like I know one pastor whose name I will not mention here, but I'm sure some of you have seen it, and now he's very famous on YouTube. Everybody wants an interview with him because he is a prophecy. This pastor goes ahead and says 2 people will collapse during Brian Chira's funeral. And yes, somebody collapsed. I don't know whether there were 2 or not. But how do you expect somebody not to collapse in such a crowd? Exhaustion, crowd of a lot of youth, rowdy youth for that. And in most cases at funerals, people collapse most of the time because of shock, because of fatigue, and so many things. And this guy goes ahead and is like, during Brian Chira's funeral, 2 people will collapse on his grave. It never happened. 2 weeks after Brian's funeral, a big snake will appear on his grave. Nothing happened of the sort. It's now how many weeks past Chira's burial? He was buried on died on the 16th of March. I don't know. I'm not sure whether the 2 weeks have passed already, but the snake hasn't been seen so far since his prediction on the grave. Probably he's planning to go and lay the snake here, but I'm sure it's now past 2 weeks since the guy died and was buried. Big snake has not appeared on the grave. And this guy is really working very hard to start a church by prophesying. And then others are saying that he was sacrificed. He was sacrificed by a guy called King Rosso because King Rosso was giving him money, gifting him with money through TikTok. TikTok has some gifters. And if you get a lion, that's the biggest gift you can ever get. I hear something like 35,000 Kenyan shillings or something of the sort. You can calculate that and get how many dollars that is. And so it's like Chira and other big TikTokers who have a lot of followers because of the nasty things they say on YouTube. That's what goes on in Kenya. The more nasty you are, the more followers you get on TikTok. And that's why they wanted to remove it from Kenya, TikTok. I don't know what's taking them so long. And so King Rosso is the gifter, and it says that he gifts a lot of celebrities on TikTok. And some people say that they have tried to be gifted also, but they never get the gift, no matter how many insults they give on TikTok. They never get the gifts from this King Rosso. What do you think of this King Rosso then? Do you think he's a Freemason? Or do you think he's a wash-wash guy? Wash-wash business. As in, wash-wash business is a business you do. Maybe you do drugs and you have a lot of money. And because the banks will question some amount of money that you're depositing, you need to do some wash-wash business to deposit them in people with a lot of followers. And then they get a share out of the money you're depositing. And so I might say that maybe King Rosso, why does he only target the TikTokers with a lot of followers? Because then the banks will not question where these guys are getting the money, because they know that TikTok has gifters from international places and the rest. So they will not question. And that's one way that people can do wash business. You get a share and you deposit for me this money. You get your own share. And then once I finish using that money for whatever I need, that's it. So they spread it to different TikTokers in the name of gifting. And that's why if you're also causing, insulting, expecting King Rosso, whoever he is, to gift you, probably they have a contract with these people. They know They know that these are not gifts. That is what I think. But if you have your own opinion, you can also put in the comments. Some say he committed suicide. Brian Chira committed suicide. He committed suicide, but they say he was running away from something, and a big truck knocked into him. But his body, the autopsy tells something different. It doesn't point to an accident by the time. Maybe an accident was there, but probably he was pushed or something. Anyway, let me not be a detective. This is what just I'm trying to tell you is Kenya has created a lot of detectives out of the death of this guy. I can say that he could have been making a lot of money out of TikTok. And I think he has left a legacy of people making money because he was making money also. Pastors also want to make the money. Another pastor has also gone to the king also trying to be gifted, has gone to TikTok because there is money there, trying to be gifted by King Rosso. You never know. Probably he will also sign a contract. If contracts of wash are being signed, then they can have a better way of depositing off their money into the banks without any question. And they're gifted, get paid. So that's just one of the things I wanted to bring here. So if you like my story, like, share, and subscribe. Ciao.